like it said, at the end of the day, what goes back to being the best shit is talking about sober shit, which I don't want to fuck. You don't want to pigeonhole yourself, I don't think.
No, 100%.
Check.
Like, yeah, the stuff that goes viral for us.
Have you ever used the headphones
Oh,
before?
yeah. No, I have.
It's
This
a little
is good.
strange.
No, it is. It's great.
Then when you take them off at the end, you're like, whoa.
No, and you can hear, like, you hear your own voice for the first time. It's funny.
It takes a little to get used to, but.
Wow. I'm a rookie here, like I said, first podcast, so. And like you got to figure out how close you want to talk to the mic. Like, do you want to do the Carl Anthony Towns thing where he like lowers his voice when he talks?
Oh, he changes. I hate.
You ever hear that guy when he's like talking with the boys? He's like, "Yeah, boy, yeah," and then he talks to the girl. Yeah. So that rebound was huge there at the end of the game, man.
I actually was talking to someone about that the other day. He really does. I feel like a lot of people clown on him now, but
no leadership.
Yeah, dude, I would not. I'm a big NBA fan. I would not want him on my team. I wouldn't want him to be one of my top 2 guys.
Yeah.
Third best, fuck it.
He's like a Wiggins guy where you go, if you're a third option, he'd be like the fucking dopest.
Oh, amazing third option.
Yeah.
Are you a like #1 hockey fan or?
Yeah, hockey #1. Probably football second.
I got the Mets shirt on.
I got the Mets. I'm going to the Yankees game tomorrow.
There we go.
Who's your football team?
The Bills from Toronto.
Toronto Bills,
yeah. So
we need Goldies cans on this pot.
I know.
Bro, you're sponsored by me now.
I'll Photoshop one in right now.
Oh,
right
post-prod.
Legit right there. I can easily do that.
Post-prod, exactly. Okay, so yeah, what am I doing here? Am I looking at like kind of both?
You don't have to look directly at the camera.
I will do like sometimes if I'm like, hey, like talking to people at home.
Listen, you at home, you want to learn about branding? Don't fucking follow me because I don't know shit about it.
Exactly. You know exactly how to do it. So you'll mostly be like looking at us.
Yeah,
We'll mostly be looking at each other. Yeah, but
we keep it casual around here.
Yeah. I look into the camera sometimes. Whatever comes natural.
No, I'm shooting from the hip this whole fucking time. I have no idea what.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you're natural. I see your content. You definitely know what you're doing. You ready to go?
10 years of being a narcissist on fucking Instagram.
Hey, that's how you do it. Damn, I could really use a Goldies right now. I'm not going to lie.
Thirsty?
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Let's start it.
Let's see. You know what this is? This is for you.
Yeah.
Biggest Rangers fan from Canada of all time?
I would say so, yeah.
You actually might be.
Oh, yeah, you saw me at Game 7 overtime there?
You wear the red wig.
I wear the red wig. Bro, I've been getting on every time I go, I get on the Jumbotron. You saw me, I made that penguin. I bit the head off the penguin.
That was hilarious.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Did you make that thing?
I made that thing. Dude, when you have a vision, you got to execute.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's branding right there. And by the Rangers, they're like, this guy, we got to get him on the Jumbotron.
Yo, the guy in the red wig is electric.
Wow.
Get him back on. I know. They actually cut it pretty quick. Like when you bite the head off, they cut that shit off. Because you're a wild card. You could do anything. When you're on the Jumbotron and you bite the head off, what's he going to do next?
Is that delayed though? They have like a 5-second delay?
Absolutely not.
It's just
no. Maybe like we're talking a quarter second.
Yeah.
Not for TV. They fucking will cut that shit.
Now they're playing tonight, so I don't know. We're going to stick around town. What are you guys doing after?
I'm
hit a bar or something?
Meet up with my girlfriend.
Okay.
Who they playing now?
Carolina, second round.
So what are you gonna do if you're? What's the equivalent to biting off the head of the penguin?
I don't know. I was thinking about doing something where I like dress up as a weatherman and downgrade them to a tropical storm.
Ooh,
but like that's hard to do. How do you? You got like 3 seconds.
You need a friend behind you. You need to
pull up the thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, it's doable.
Try tropical storm hurricane.
Hey, if you could start a beverage brand, you could pull off the weatherman thing at the Ranger game.
It's all imagination, guys. You got to be a dreamer and a doer.
It really is. All right, so let's introduce you. We got Garrett from Goldies.
Garrett from Goldies.
You started your own beverage company?
I started my own beverage company about a year ago. Stopped boozing 2 years ago.
A non-alcoholic beverage company.
Non-alcoholic so like sophisticated seltzers. So that's what we're doing. Is like you're not really going to see us doing like a blueberry flavor or a cherry flavor. It's more like we're doing like a yuzu spritz. So it's like yuzu prosecco club soda. We're doing like a cucumber gin and tonic kind of thing. So it's just it's for people that, and I think the issue in the non-alc space is that it's a lot of the non-alc drinks are branded for people who might have had an issue with alcohol. And you know, for me, where I'm coming from, I never really had an issue with it. I'll tell you the story why I stopped drinking, but I was like, I think there's a lot of people that want to drink just a little less, and when you have something that your options at the bar are like Diet Coke or Red Bull. Like, who's grabbing a fucking Red Bull?
It's not a healthy alternative.
No, it isn't. And I think there's an opportunity to do this, and I kind of had this idea, and it was one of those things. You guys ever get it where you're like at the office and they're doing like when the lottery gets big, everybody's got to buy a number, and if you don't buy that ticket, it's almost like suicide prevention, because you would be like, if they won,
I feel that
it's your insurance. And like, if you have this idea, and I think it's like a huge market. If you don't do it, and then like a year or two go by, and you see some fucking guy living your dream, I would fucking kill myself. Like this,
Islanders fan.
Yeah, it'd be horrendous. I
never thought about that from like a business perspective. Like, you have an idea, and it's like 2 years later you see that, be like, why didn't I fucking do it?
You know who talks about it is Bezos. There's a very great interview. Maybe you should splice it in. He talks about living life as a regret minimization model of like. Of like, you guys are doing it right now. Like, would you, if you weren't doing this show and you saw some other guys kind of living your dream, you would be like, man, I could have done that.
That's how haters are formed.
Haters hate.
Because you're just be like, fuck, I could be doing that.
No, I'm still a hater, but I'm just doing this. I'm just hating on I'm hating on my competitors now.
Yeah. Well, at least like, but it's way better to hate on them than like, imagine if like one of like, someone you knew like started a company like this. You're like, fuck, I definitely could have done that.
Wow, well, bro, let me tell you, one of my best buddies out in LA started a COVID testing company when coronavirus started getting big. And if I told you the amount of money he has in his bank right now, you'd fucking puke. So like,
he was like doing like tests at his house, or how was
tests for movie studios? So like Netflix, Sony, Columbia, like large scale. Like, basically what happened is the actors union, and like the I don't know, like the production people, like the stage hands and the key grips and all these fuckers, they force you to test, like depending on the size of production. And anyways, it's they're doing incredibly well, but that's not from like hate. Like, that is like fucking hell yeah, bro, fucking kill it. But it's also like, hey, if he can do it, I can do it.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
but I feel like whenever you know someone who makes it big, it's like, they're not that much smarter, like that much funnier than me. Like, I could do that too.
No, for 100%. Sure.
And it's just like, you got to take those first few steps and get it rolling.
I think like, especially at the start, you're going to suck shit, but you just got to do that little fucking 1%. 1% every day, 1% every day. Like, I will say with the TikTok thing, like, my first fucking TikTok sucks shit. Like, I had no idea what I was doing.
I didn't know what I was doing at all.
And now it's like, the speed and execution and idea generation, just even after a couple months, is like insane. And like, what's it going to be like that? All that shit compounds. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, if the 1% at the start of the journey is a lot different than the 1% a year in, because being a 1% better right now is like, would have taken me 3 months at the start with the Goldie shit.
Yeah, it's a good point.
You know,
I definitely had that mind state, like starting this. I was like, I know it'll suck at first, but I also knew if I just keep doing it, it'll eventually get good.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a sweet setup, and you guys are cool dudes, and like, I can see the success starting to come on TikTok a little bit, and it's like, one of the things too that is funny is like, you don't know what you don't know, and when you start this shit, so many opportunities have come up. Like, when you're doing a beverage company, I'll give you a great example. I met a girl at a party the other day that I ran into her at a party, and she's like, oh, this guy, I was sponsoring this party. Actually, it was a charity event. And this girl's drinking a Goldies, and we end up talking, and she's like, oh, this, and I don't like to tell people that when I'm at these events that like I own the company, because it's just like, it's a really great way to get like unfiltered feedback.
Undercover boss.
Yeah, undercover boss kind of shit. So so I talked to this girl, and I'm like, what do you think of the drink? She's like, oh, it's so fucking good. Like, I had this idea to do a non-alcoholic wine. And this girl, so we get talking, and I, end up dropping, like, it's a great fucking big dog move when you're like, yeah, like, I actually own the business.
I own the place.
Yeah, exactly. No. But no, for real though.
Did she believe you when you first said it, or? No,
she didn't. Actually, one of her friends had to come over and be like, no, that's so fucking crazy.
This is Garrett.
So anyway, she's this brilliant girl. I actually saw a lot of myself in her. She was an engineer at a car, like autonomous driving startup kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
And I'm an engineer at a bank. So it was kind of like, hey, you're kind of in this corporate role, and you have this idea. And she's like, I wanted to do this non-alcoholic wine with my sister. And I'm like, why didn't you do it? Like, and she fucking started listing, like, ripping off all these excuses of like why it can't be done. And I'm sitting there going like, yeah. And it's like, all the excuses that she came up with were things that I had to fucking overcome in like the year prior to get to this product, being like, wow, you know, it's a ton of work. I'm like, yeah, well, you got to wake up at fucking 5 a.m. every day for a year. And she goes, oh yeah, it's a ton of money. And it's like, yeah, it's take $50,000, dude, and fucking push your chips in the middle, like drop your balls on the table, like if you want to, or like what was the one? She was like, oh, and I ran the numbers, like I did the financial modeling for this, and it's just like not going to work out. And it's like, listen, let me explain something to you. I'm sure you're very brilliant, and I'm sure your financial models are awesome, but let me tell you something. Like I post a fucking TikTok and 100,000 people watch it and a bunch of people buy my shit. Like how do you account for that?
Yeah, you can't.
How do you fucking account for, like, I snap my fingers and the fucking Arkell show up to a show? How do you I get that you're like beep boop beep boop, like I'm fucking doing my modeling, and but it's like if you don't fucking show up, then no model is going to account for like that little extra bit of magic that.
Oh yeah, and luck and just things that happen.
But like luck is it's so like putting yourself in position for something to happen.
We were talking about that. We had a kid on last night, and that was literally like the biggest thing. Is like you do the work so that when the opportunity comes, you get lucky. But really, if you didn't do the work, then you would never get lucky. Yeah.
So great example. So, and we'll talk about this concert that I threw on Wednesday of like this band was coming to town. They're a fucking mega huge band.
I saw that TikTok.
So sick,
I
dude.
need the backstory.
So I'll fucking tell you. And so I'm talking with these guys, and they can't do like an official show. And they're like, hey, well, here's the deal. Like, if the stuff is there, maybe we'll do like a rush the stage kind of thing and play a couple numbers. And it's like, that morning, I had to sign a contract for $7,500 for these fucking production company to come with the labor, the mixers, all the equipment, the fucking lights and everything. And you're sitting there going like, all right, I'm about to fucking send these dudes like $7,500, and I don't even know for a fact that these guys are going to show up. I don't even know for a fact
so
that
you weren't going to have a band.
So I had two acts before, which again, two crazy stories. I'll tell you how I threw together a 3-act fucking concert on a Wednesday on a rooftop in Brooklyn. But I didn't know the headliners, and I've been going around telling my friends. Now, I wasn't like, yo, the Arkells are coming to play, but it was like, hey, I think they're going to show up. Like, you never know what's going to happen. Like, you don't want to promise anything, but I'm just like, what's that fucking scene in Old School when Vince Vaughn's like, you know, yeah, like I'm going to fucking spend $7,500 for a fucking student marching band. Like, I own 6 speaker cities. Like, just make sure you can see the fucking stage. Like that kind of fucking thing was with the guys. Like, listen, I'm putting something together. Get your fucking ass to this roof. Just make sure you can see the stage. I think something's going to happen. But it's that element of putting yourself in a position where it's like, hey, all the fucking instruments are there. All the fucking lights are there. All these fucking people are here. And if I know musicians, like I think, they're going to get up there and play a couple songs.
Hell yeah. Wait, so whose guitar and stuff was it?
It was my guitar. So, but I had to rent a bass. We had a keyboard from a buddy. Serious shit, man.
And this all came together in
5 days.
What gave you the idea?
So I mentioned to you earlier before we were on, my aunt, growing up, she used to throw these big, like, kind of camping getaway style concerts. It was almost like a family style Coachella before Coachella, but like on a much smaller scale. Maybe like 300 people would show up or 500 people and pitch tents, like friends and friends of friends. And they would get all these bands come and they would like do these big cookouts. And it was always cool growing up. Every fucking year I would go. And then as we got older, she would start doing them in her backyard. And like, you just know that it's possible. Like if you can get this shit and you know it's possible. So I knew this band was coming to town, Arkells, my favorite band. My sister was in town. They were playing a show on Thursday. Which
are they
from
Canada?
They are from Canada.
Apparently they're huge in Canada.
I've never heard
like
of them.
top 3 band in Canada, maybe?
I would say they're the biggest band. Okay, just to put
Arcade Fire's Canadian, no?
Arcade Fire's Canadian, but just to put this in context, they won on Sunday, 6 days ago, they won the Juno for best group in Canada.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, very mega successful band. They sold out the ACC, the stadium in Toronto, 3 nights in a row. So that's I think maybe
is that where the Raptors play?
That's where the Leafs and Raptors play. So that's probably
shit. So they're big time.
Well, yeah, you're looking at maybe 75,000 people.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
and then you got them to come to your party
with 80 people. Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of wild.
For free.
Well, you had to pay for all their shit, but
I paid for all the shit, it's so weird, man, because you listen, these guys get messages from people all the time being like, oh my God, you should come play in my backyard. And it's like, okay, like, or like, you should come play my wedding. And it's like, okay, like, and you don't want to big dog the fucking band. And they're huge in Canada. Let's be very clear. Huge in Canada. Not very big in the States. Mm-hmm. And I had seen them play a couple pop-up shows. They do that where it's like, hey, we're coming in, we're playing on a Thursday. And then we might do like a little something for the fans on the Wednesday, like maybe an acoustic thing. So I knew they had done that in the past, and that's why I reached out. I just pinged them on Instagram. You know that thing on TikTok where they're like, what would happen if you just called Taylor up?
Yeah.
No, I called her
Gary
up.
V shit.
I called her up. Called him up. I said, hey, bud, I got this fucking rooftop in Brooklyn.
You called them or DM'd them?
I DM'd them.
All right,
but you know what I mean?
No, because I thought you can call on Instagram.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, that'd be sick. No, I just texted him, and with some of the pictures of the venue. So the venue is where I can. It's called the Brooklyn Cannery. A good buddy of mine, Mache, owns it. He makes prebiotic sodas there. Sweet,
nice.
Sweet fucking dude. Kind of in the Olipop poppy category.
I've had him.
And he has this sweet venue, indoor outdoor space, probably 200 person roof, unfinished at the top, and then this really intimate little side patio thing. So I sent the guy a bunch of pictures of it, being like, "Yo, so here's what I'm thinking. Listen, I can't guarantee anything, but I will say I'll fucking move mountains to make it dope as hell for you guys." And like I said, it's you don't want to be like, oh man, I'm the fucking man and I can do this, but like there is levels to this shit, and like it's the difference between somebody being like, hey man, you should come over to my living room and we can fucking jam on some Beatles songs to like, hey dude, I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's the fucking sunsets right there. There's the fucking downtown Brooklyn, downtown Manhattan, a raised train right beside the thing. It's like the dopest setup of all time. You should come and play it. I'll make sure there's fucking 100 people there, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, you have to sell it to them. You can't
You
just
sell it
be like,
to them. And let's be clear too. And then my sister, she emails the band manager Ashley and being like a little more formalized, being like, hey, so here's what we're thinking. Here's what we can do for you. Like, if you're in, like, we got to move fast. And again, it was like this thing with the signs. So I got these signs made, and I was making this shit. I reached out like 2 weeks prior to the show, and I started making shit, assuming the show was going to go on without them even replying, by the way.
Wow, that's
Without
a lot
them
of
even-
balls.
yeah,
because
without-
that seems like kind of a long shot to get them to come.
It is a mega long
Well,
shot.
even just to like see it.
You
And they
manifested
probably
it.
get hundreds of DMs a day.
100%,
yeah,
bro.
legit.
100%. So I started progressing of like, hey, I'm going to assume they show up. So anyways, I get a fucking call from this guy on Friday. I'm sitting at the office. I get a call from a number in the Hammer, and I'm like, okay, what? Like, Hammer's Hamilton, Ontario. That's where they're from.
Yeah.
And I pick it up, and he goes, hey, this is Max. I'm the lead singer of the Arkells. What's going on, Garrett? And I go, hey, what's going on? You tell me, buddy. And he's like, we're in.
Wow.
We're in.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we're in. We're gonna come.
Damn.
We're gonna come do it. He's like, same thing I was saying earlier. Can't guarantee anything, but if you have the shit there, well, I'll get the guys coming by. And when I say the night was a resounding success, like it was insanely successful night. So once he called me, I had to scramble the fucking jets and like make this thing happen. So we had like bartenders, we had like my drinks, we had the Brooklyn Cannery sodas there, doing some mixed drinks with that.
What was like the purpose of the event? Just like throw a party?
Throw a party. Yeah, it was just a throw a party.
We should throw a party.
Buddy, I'll
I'd
throw
be
you a
down for
party.
that.
Yeah, we gotta throw a party.
I'll throw a party.
You can
Yeah.
get the Arkells
I'll
again.
fucking throw you a
We
party.
could use the Brooklyn Cannery. if
You
they're
can use
down.
Brooklyn Cannery. You want to do a party?
Yeah, who's the biggest band in America? We'll get them to come. I don't know. We'll get someone to come.
I mean,
think
listen.
big. I'll take your route.
Whoa. I'm one
Get
for
Jack
one here.
Harlow.
I don't want to
Yeah,
fuck
Jack
up.
Harlow's coming.
Jack Harlow. Oh my God, that's a good one. He doesn't drink. I should message him.
Wow.
He doesn't
yeah,
drink.
You should.
He doesn't drink.
He
Same
mentioned that in his new
reason as
album a
me.
lot.
It's not. Wasn't really an alcohol thing. It was very much a efficiency and productivity and clarity thing.
That's a great way. Yeah, that was like one of the more when we first got you on. We were looking like, do we think this guy is someone who had an alcohol problem? And then we were just like, it seems like you're kind of just someone who's like a healthy guy.
Yeah.
making nice life decisions.
You want to know the story?
Yeah, let's
I'll tell
start.
you
Yeah,
the
let's
story.
start from the beginning.
Start from the
Okay.
beginning of your sobriety.
Okay, I'm gonna take you
Take us
back
from there.
just a hair before that because
Yeah, you
I
have
think
to.
I think what happened. There was a few like factors that led up to it. One was I mentioned earlier. I'm an immigrant here and like feel insanely blessed to be in New York City. And I grew up in hockey culture where it's very much binge drinking, partying with the boys, like fire 14 Coors Lights back every night. Like, who fucking cares? And that kind of translated into my time here when I moved down here. So what ended up happening was I felt like as I was getting a little older, but like I want to say about 25 to 27, I started feeling like, because I was so lucky to be here, like Canadian, you don't just fucking move. You can't just move down here. You got to be asked to move down here. So it was this luck factor, and felt like I was leaving some shit on the table when I'd go out on a Friday night, booze all night, and sleep in till fucking 2 a.m. on a Saturday. And it just was like, how long can you do that before you're like, I wonder what else is out there. And then what tipped the move the needle for me was, I had this buddy Sebastian that was throwing these sweet fucking parties, which, by the way, we're throwing another one August 27th. We're renting a sailboat, like a schooner, going all through Manhattan. You guys are invited. Should do a fucking podcast on the boat. Like, it's the dopest fucking thing of all time.
I feel like we could pull that. I would do that shit.
No, for real. I'm not kidding. I can make it happen. So
let's do it.
This guy would come out with us. He's another Canadian guy. He would fucking party with us the whole fucking night. He'd be boozing and everything, and would get up the next day and fucking rip 3 laps of Central Park on his bike. And I was like, whoa. How he do that? No. How he fucking do that? Like, I don't understand how that's fucking, I can't do that. But I want, but then all this time was going by, and I was like, I want to do that. And I'd be like, yo, what's up? Like, you got to tell me your fucking secret, bro. And he's like, dude, I just don't drink that much.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I don't drink that much. You think I'm fucking with you all night? I have 3 drinks. You have 14. I have 3.
Big difference.
Huge difference. You're up in the morning. You're not feeling that bad. You're mixing in waters. And what finally pushed me over the edge was I got a DM from, I posted a picture at Village Tavern, like I fucking always do. I had just broken up with a girl, and I was on that bullshit where you don't post on Instagram a lot, and then you break up with your chick, and you're like, fucking, now I'm like fucking posting every day bullshit. And this chick comments on my thing, yo, check your DMs. And she was a casting agent for a dating show.
Oh, which one?
It was called 12 Dates at Christmas. It was on HBO.
Oh, interesting.
I saw someone that was on there.
Yeah.
I saw, like, I think on TikTok.
It sounds very familiar.
Yeah, and she reaches out, and I'm not sure how the whole thing works, but she's like, hey, I'm this casting agent, and I think you'd be really good for the show. Are you single? Do you want to do it? And at that time, I was a little bit stalled career-wise, and I was a little like, hey, this might be cool just to change gears a little bit. Like, I don't know if I'd be super into like doing a dating show and then selling fucking teeth whitening products, but like, if that's like why I'm put on fucking planet Earth, but like definitely was feeling like, hey, this could be like a little change of gear. So I said, yeah, like I'd be interested. So I went through the process. This was in December of 2019. And I was like, look, if I'm going to do this, I should probably get in shape. Like, not that I was like out of shape, but the little bit of a fatter face, the little bit of the fucking dad bod situation. So I was like, fuck, I'll stop boozing. I've always been fucking wanting to, like, I had the idea planted from those things I was alluding to earlier. And then the idea was there. And like, that was the kind of thing that just fucking gave me that nudge over the edge. And it was like, okay, now I'll stop drinking. The show was progressing. Like, I was going through these rounds, and then the pandemic happened. So that was March of 2020. And it just felt like, dudes, I don't know, but it just wasn't like, okay, the show was obviously pulled and like pushed because of that. I wasn't feeling like I was in a spot where I was going to go pick up a bottle again, like alone on my couch. I had seen over that past like 3 months that like I could still go out with my friends. I could still have a great life. I was getting up early and doing fucking laps of Central Park on my bike. And it was almost like you could have your cake and eat it too kind of situation.
So it's a blessing that you got asked to go on that show.
Bro, it's fucking insane. And like, one of the things I try and preach with the Goldie shit, and like in anything, like I wish if I could talk to my younger self, be like, you shouldn't need that kick.
Yeah.
If you had those fucking thoughts in the back of your head being like, man, I feel like I'm leaving a little bit on the table, fucking try stopping for a month. Just for a month. See how you feel. And I get like there's some benefit of the dry January, sober October kind of bullshit, and like where that's an opportunity. But again, and I would say it, you don't need that.
And everyone at the end of February 1st are like, oh, time to go out.
Yeah, and it's like you should do it on your own terms. If you are feeling, if somebody's listening to this podcast or you clip this and you're like, hey, I'm kind of feeling like I'm boozing a little too much, fucking try stopping for like 2 weeks.
You're going to feel great.
You're going to feel great.
I've done it.
The thing is, though, like living in New York, boozing is like the culture. That's your social
Well,
life.
Then, okay,
There's,
so
like,
now...
Here you go to restaurants, you go to bars, like
it's
you go
great.
to clubs, that's it.
Go to a hockey game. Go to a hockey game. So I fuck Ranger season ticket holder. I spend $10,000 or $15,000 between this and playoffs on Ranger tickets, and you get treated like a fucking child when you go to the counter and you're like, hey, I get a fucking tea, a water, or a Gatorade.
Yeah.
Right.
Or a $16 beer.
What for somebody who doesn't drink? That's not an option, right? Yeah. So, then, well, like you said, it's in the culture. But we were in a pandemic. I got a girlfriend at the time. We had known each other beforehand, so there wasn't really that dating style thing. Like, we had known each other for 4 years.
That helps.
Huge help. And we had gone through the whole pandemic. We actually split recently. But about a year ago, when things started opening up and it was like, okay, the drinking culture still is here, I was like, okay, I got to have something in my hand. This is like, you know how you have literally trained yourself for 15 years, 20 years to go out when you're socializing. You got to have something in your hand. It's almost like a nerve, like a tick, or like a smoker would have something in their mouth.
I feel like even during COVID, like bars were doing like to-go drinks and stuff.
Yeah, but it's just, even if you're hanging out at the apartment, like if you're at a house party or in the backyard, like you got to have something in your hand.
Yeah. And the more nervous you get, the more you're sipping on something.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go out now. I'm going to meet my friends. And the options for me, I felt like they weren't great. I felt like they were okay. I felt like a lot of them were branded towards people that had problems with alcohol. And don't get me wrong, like I've seen problems in my family and shit. Like maybe another one of the reasons why, like seeing some of the downside risks of drinking too much, like, you know, I understand from like the hard boozers, like, okay, I need a product that's more marketed to me, but like I never had an issue with it. I was more of a very binge drinker, social drinker that felt like I could have done more. And then that kick in the ass was like, holy fuck, dude, it felt like I had two lives, twice as much time.
What, the sober life and the not sober life? Oh, you're saying now you do.
Yeah, like now, man. I have a full-time job and I'm still able to start this fucking company and run this shit and do all this stuff. And it's like, if I was hungover in bed or like didn't have that motivation factor, like it's not possible.
Oh yeah. And hangovers can last more than a day. Like even if like your headache's gone, like you're still like, you know.
Oh, now for sure.
Yeah.
Now for sure.
I think I did 40 days sober, and it was like, it's exactly what you said. You go out, you can have fun with your friends, and then you wake up at 7 a.m. and you're just like ready to go.
Yeah, and that's what I found, man. And it was like, I'm a social guy, and I understand some people need it to like loosen up and shit, and I do empathize with that. But like, listen, I'm not like totally sober. Like, I'll still do weed gummies. I'll still do mushrooms. Like, we'll still do shit when we go to Mirage. We'll be doing Molly and shit. But like, I don't know if we can say that or cut that.
Yeah, you can totally say. Yeah,
but you know what I mean?
Better. You're being very real about.
I think it's the future. You know what I mean? Like, if I go to the bar and I have a couple shroom chocolates, like you're still vibing.
Oh yeah, but you wake up fine the next day.
You wake up fine the next day, and for me, it's not like a very cutting edge. And let's be clear too. Like, I can definitely see myself getting to a point where I drink in like very distinct and happy circumstances. I think I saw a girl on TikTok talk about it. This is a little Burning Man-y, but she goes like, I only drink in high vibe moments. So like a wedding or like an anniversary, I'll have a glass of wine kind of thing. But I'm not, if I'm like hanging with the guys or I'm going to a hockey game, like that's not special enough to warrant having 3 beers.
Yeah, just like keep it out of like your regular like, weekly habit.
Yeah, and I do one of the nice things about abstaining from drinking versus moderation is like that decision point for me is completely removed. It's like we go to the Rangers game, like I'm gonna go to Rangers game, maybe game 4 or something. I'm not drinking. It's not like, oh, maybe I'll have one, or like maybe in the first intermission I'll grab one. No. It's just not even.
Turns into
that's how I would have to be, I think, too.
Yeah.
Even the high vibey one, I'm like, if I'm letting myself like Oh, I have times where I drink. Like I might in my head be like, "Oh, this is a high vibey moment. We're doing a podcast."
Maybe,
but
yeah.
really, no. I feel what that chick's saying.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. It's just like, you ever see like the Steve Jobs or the Zuckerberg shit where like I wear the same shirt every day because I just don't. The decision fatigue for me is just like I don't want to fucking deal with like whether it's a high vibe moment or not. Like for me, it's just like no. But like
that's how I think I'd have to do it too.
I'll say like one of my best buddies, I'm standing in his wedding and he asked us to be his groomsmen. This is back when I was drinking, but he got us all these custom Coors Light labels made. And like the label said in the style of Coors Light, like, will you be my groomsman?
That's pretty cool.
And it's pretty cool. And like, let me tell you right now, I'm going to fucking have that beer with him on his wedding day. So it's not like, oh my God, like, or I had at this party on Wednesday, we were doing some mixed drinks with the Goldies, and I had to try one. Like, I want to make sure it's good. Now, I'm not like, okay, you have a half a drink with tequila. It's not like, listen, if you have grape juice, there's a little bit of fermentation going on in there. It's not like I'm like off the fucking rails if I have like, you know.
You're not an addict.
No.
Yeah.
No. So,
which is cool.
The like drinking aspect is also just like ingrained in like the work culture too. Like you go to like office happy hours.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Someone's retiring and you have like champagne to celebrate. Very
exclusive. Like when you talk about inclusive policies and exclusive policies, like people who have to drive home, like lawyers, for example. A lot of my buddies that are lawyers, especially the more junior guys, like the partners are having these fucking happy hours at 5-6 p.m., which is great for them because they're going to go fuck off home to their families. But these guys have to go back to their computer and bang out comments. Like, that is, do you really want to be drinking that much? Like, what I'll say too, like, I've heard some fucking horror stories. Everybody has horror stories from people at the office who heard about that one person. Like, and I'll say this to anybody that's like watching, the downside risks, especially if you're junior in your career and you know that you can fucking push the boundary a little bit, the downside risk to your career is massive.
Oh yeah,
getting too fucked up at a work thing.
Oh, you'll be that idiot forever.
Massive downside risk, and I don't think, and you don't want to be like scare people like, oh my God, don't do drugs. You're gonna do, but just know that if you go from past that 4 or 5 to that 9 or 10 binging range, huge downside risk.
Oh yeah,
at any age too. By the way, I've heard some fucking stories of like chicks who were like 40 getting into bar fights of like fucking slapping a chick of being drunk and shit, and it's like. It's any age, but like especially when you're young, keep that shit to a minimum. Yeah, my totally unsolicited career advice.
I remember like being interns and stuff, and like if there's that one intern who like got a little too fucked up, you're like, oh, you don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Fucking weirdo.
Yeah,
I've been at holiday parties where like people have been groped by people who were too drunk.
And it's always the weirdos.
They got fired the next day.
It's like, always the weirdos, the guys that are a little more quiet, that they fucking have a couple. And it's not guys like us, and it's almost certainly not people that are watching the podcast because they are like.
My fans are cool. Yeah,
your fans are cool as fuck. Yeah, never. It's those other guys though.
My fans would never.
Yeah. Those Gary V fans though, those little fucking weirdos. You handsy motherfuckers.
Gary V fans are
they're all at VCon. They're not listening to this.
Groping everyone, man. It's a fucking orgy. Fans. It's an orgy over there at VCon. No, but in all seriousness, it is the fucking weird guys that are doing that. It's a fucking massive orgy.
My old roommate worked for Gary V's company. And my other old roommate.
A few of our buddies did.
Yeah, we have a lot of friends.
Yeah. Really? I popped by their. I live in the West Village, and they have a new pop up cafe. It's cool. It's really
Intermedia does.
One of the groups owns one of the groups. It's
Got
called,
you.
I forget what it's called.
137 maybe?
Yes, it was 137.
Yeah, nice. Wow. So the kid that you watched the podcast, he like does work with them.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Content kid we had on.
Does Gary drink? Is he?
Yeah, I think he does.
I will say the amount of people, of celebrities, you would be floored by the number of celebrities who don't drink.
Who are some sober celebrities?
Bradley Cooper's one. Blake Lively's one.
Yep,
like
saw that.
Even things like she's dating Ryan Reynolds, who's reps a fucking tequila, or he does a gin.
Maybe whiskey or gin.
Aviator, I think.
No, I don't think that's him. I think it's a different one. But yeah, he does have a couple.
But yeah, so like there's a lot of these celebrities that are like, and some of them talk about it a little bit more, some of them don't. Like I think you could probably dig up some shit with Bradley Cooper that's talking about it. But like the thing that bugs me about the sobriety thing, and I don't mind coming on talking about it, but like it is one fucking sliver of my life of like who I am. So, and it's funny because when I started, it was like, oh, why I know like these guys don't drink. Like, why aren't they fucking talking about it more? And it's like, now that I'm like more along and like kind of knowing and being more comfortable with my relationship with alcohol, it's like, it isn't me. It's fucking 1% of who I am is like I'm like I'm a low no drinker, and that you can put me right in that category of like I don't really fucking get too banged up anymore.
Tons of people don't smoke weed, but it's not like an identity that you don't smoke weed.
Exactly. Some people don't eat fucking cheese. They're gonna go around telling everybody they're lactose intolerant, and it's like, hey man, you know, like I just want to let you know before we get started this podcast, I don't fuck with cheese.
You know, exactly. Make sure there's no cheese.
Yeah.
Those vegetarians and vegans, they'll tell you.
They will. Okay, that's where I draw the line. Yeah, exactly. But no, and that's what it is. It's like I think again, it's not like, oh, they're walking among us, but I think you'd be pleasantly surprised at like the number of people that aren't really. Oh yeah, Jack Harlow. We were talking about too. Jack Harlow doesn't drink,
and you wouldn't guess that. Not because like he does anything that makes you think he's a drinker, but he seems like a normal guy, and normal people drink. Exactly,
and that is that hyper normalization of like booze culture is like, oh, if you're a rapper, you got booze, and it's like, no, actually, it's really funny. I remember the one I'll give you is the Super Bowl halftime show. They had on that stage, Dr. Dre doesn't drink, Eminem doesn't drink, Kendrick Lamar doesn't drink, 50 Cent doesn't drink. The only one was Dr. Dre Snoop.
Snoop Dogg drinks.
Yeah.
Corona commercial guy.
Yeah. He was the only one. And I even think Mary J. Blige has some stints with sobriety as well. It was like shocking. It was something like 5 out of 6 people that were on that show fucking don't booze.
And they're all, they're
Floyd Mayweather doesn't drink.
We go to parties, we're listening to their shit.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, like,
and I wouldn't not have known that.
Because they're not fucking going around telling like, hey man,
they don't want to make that like their thing.
Their identity. And it's like, and I don't mind like, listen, planting the flag in the ground of like the cool guy moderation. Especially with like the guys who are like super sober, is like, it's a little bit cornball. Like, yo, and I don't want to fucking shit on people, but like in the sobriety TikTok in that realm in particular, like,
There's a lot of like people telling people kind of how to live.
Yeah, I don't want to be a fucking hater, but it's like, bro, we get it. You don't drink. What else do you do? Like, who are you as a person? Like, and I get and if we want to get into the TikTok shit of like niching down and shit like that, but it's like every fucking video for fucking 5 years, you talking about not boozing? Like, holy fuck! Like, Jesus Christ, man! Like, like, do you golf? Do you fucking drive a car? Like, what do you do for like? I don't know. Like, I can't just talk about it. I talk about it now because I don't mind, but like, fuck, man. Every fucking day, like if you look at mine, I don't give like it's just one fucking sliver. I don't mind talking about it.
You did a vlog today, and it was like about like, or I don't know when you put it out, but it was like you went for your bike ride, you went to the Yankee game, you went to Gowanus. Like, yeah,
exactly. And it's like, okay, like that's, and that I will tell you, if I was hungover, I wouldn't be doing that shit. So
no,
it's just one fucking sliver, and I don't. And the reason why I like talking about it, the only reason why I like talking about it is because for that exact reason I was talking to you earlier of like, hey man, you shouldn't need a fucking excuse. You shouldn't need an excuse. Yeah. And like play around with it. I think like for me, over the fucking 5, 10, 15 years of growing up, it was always fucking default max, fucking binge, go party. And it was like, it was almost like this situation where you don't know what you don't know. Like I didn't even know that this fucking way of life was possible. I didn't even know it. Like it wasn't even something that crossed my mind of like, oh wait, like you can just fucking wake up at like 8 or 9 and go to the farmer's market and go get your workout in and then have a brunch and and then go see your friends later that night and go watch a football game. And it's like, yeah, you can
do everything.
You can do it all
except not.
You can do it all. And you could, and like for me, one of the things is like, I could even see myself getting to a point where I have like those couple beers and if it's like the Super Bowl or whatever, like those, but like, again, I would not be going to the point where I'm getting fucked up because now I'm like so much more comfortable with saying to your buddies like, no man, like fuck, I got shit I gotta do. Yeah.
Not worth it to you.
So
not worth it to me.
When did you go from, you obviously stopped drinking, and then how did you like have this idea of be like, I need more options, I want to start this company?
Yeah, so it was last year, I was looking for something that was like cool branded. A lot of these things are branded like, yo, you want to...
Your branding is sick.
The branding's good.
If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah, Goldies is a great name too.
Yeah, and like that's another one. Like all these fucking companies are coming up with names that are like, yo, 0.0 proof. They're like a little bit of this and none of that. And it's like the consumer, the alcohol person that like wants to drink a little less doesn't need to be talked to like a fucking child. Like we're fucking normal people that like you don't need to call it like fucking whispers of nothing. Like fucking just fucking call it. Like, and everybody always asks me like, Goldies, how'd you come up with it? I was like, bro, it fucking sounds cool and you could say it at a bar. Like fucking,
it sounds like it could be a beer, honestly.
Exactly. And it's like, and like that, it's funny because it's like, that's the point. That's the whole fucking point, dog. Like you don't have to fucking treat people like they're, I don't know. Some of these things are mouthfuls to say. And I'm like, can you, like, do you understand branding and marketing? Like you obviously don't because you would never call your thing like
0.0.
Yeah.
But do you have a background in branding or like?
Bro, I am an engineer at an investment bank. I have no fucking branding expertise at all. And it's crazy because I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm very good at branding.
Did you read about it or
I read a couple books.
There you go.
I read a couple books, but it was like, it's a lot of it is a feel thing. First of all, like I'm a cool dude. Like I understand what like the cool crowd wants. I hang with a very fucking cool group of people in
Josh Donaldson's wife.
I mean, it's just like, one of the things I'll say about hanging with like the Canadians down here is that if you want to be down here as a Canadian, you got to get a visa. So by hanging out with like that crowd, the only companies that are sponsoring people to come down for visas, it's almost like a natural filter a little bit of like, they're not going to, those fucking weirdos that are groping people that we were talking about earlier, they're not getting asked to come down.
Oh yeah.
So it's like a natural filter of like, competency. So like all my friends are fucking lawyers, engineers, bankers, PE guys.
That's a good way to look at it.
Hedgies, you know what I mean? Like it's just like some of the pro athletes. Like you grow, and it's like, so it's like this crowd that you're rolling with that is like a very kind of cool crowd. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's like a select group of people that that is actually pretty cool. I never really thought of that.
Yeah.
So what do you think makes Goldies different than like a regular seltzer, even like a Polar, like LaCroix?
Yeah, so the big thing there is like the branding and the flavor profile. So one of the things we do, like the sleek can, we have to be branded. One of the big things in like drink culture is like a daytime drink versus a nighttime drink. Very distinct marketing and branding and vibe kind of feel. So, you could grab like an Olipop, no doubt. But if you're at the bar, is that what you want to be seen with in your hand?
No, it looks like, that person's drinking an Olipop, not an alcoholic drink.
Exactly. So that's where it's like the branding and the marketing aspect of like, you just need to make it so that you really want to brand it and market it towards people who want to drink less, not people who don't want to drink at all.
Like mix one in.
Yeah. Mix in a Goldies.
So this is not something like you wake up and like you're walking out the door.
No,
and grab
no, absolutely not. Don't. And it's like the flavor profile. So we put a little bit of sugar in there. So it's not like, you don't want to compete. And we put a bunch of vitamins in there. So it's like for people who are drinking. And it's so funny too, because do you guys ever see those fucking drinks that are like 17,000% of your vitamin B?
Yeah.
And it's like, lovely. That's lovely for me. But especially for like water soluble shit, you just pee that out. It doesn't, your body is, and I just always used to laugh at it being like, man, that's like that's so much vitamins.
And everyone knows it. Everyone knows that vitamin water, you're not getting those vitamins.
Yeah, like it's just like an insane amount of, or like with Red Bull too, like with the caffeine. And I was like, listen, man, I can tell you something right now. I've stood around a lot of fucking kitchen tables till 4 a.m, 5 a.m, 6 a.m. And like guys are still fucking going in and grabbing beers at that time of night and that fucking vibe and that wave. And it's like, I didn't want something that people would have caffeine in there. Like that kind of seemed dumb to me. I was like, I think you almost, like I said, you need something branded cool in your hand that has a sophisticated flavor profile that like all of our branding events and shit are like, yo, it's fucking normal it's cool to moderate. It's normal to moderate. You do not have to get super banged up. Fucking make your workout class tomorrow. And like really pulling that conversation back. But like, we're trying to pull the pendulum to the middle. And I think a lot of people are trying to pull it all the way this way. And it's like, and some people are going off that axis and going towards like hemp and shit. And like, and it's just like, it's more like for me, look, I think we can get to a place where it's like, go out tonight, have a couple beers, have a couple Goldies. Honestly, or not Goldies, like just like anything. If we can even move the conversation where it's like, hey man, I grabbed a fucking soda water with a lime. Like fucking good for you, man. Like that's like, even to just make that kind of progress and just put that stake in the ground and be like, yo, this is what we're fucking all about.
Yeah, and it's a lot different than like, mixing in water. Oh, bartender, can I get a water? Because that's just something you chug really quick, back to drinking.
Exactly.
This is like, this is my drink right now.
Exactly, and I think the pitch to bars for us is that it's incremental sales. Like you have people in your bar that like, listen, man, I don't fucking big dog on podcast. I am willing to spend money on the fucking at the bar. Okay, trust me, I'm very willing to spend. I spent a fucking $1 billion at the bar, but like I'm there and I'm ordering soda water with lime, not because I don't want to fucking spend money or $5 on a drink. Like I don't give a fuck about that. But like it's more, it's a what you're projecting to people thing. Of like, if you have a Diet Coke or if you have a soda water, they serve it to you in the big fucking glass. They might as well put a fucking sippy cup on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. Like, it's.
Yeah, because Goldies for the people, because we don't have a can here. It's like the skinny White Claw can.
It's the skinny White Claw can. Yeah, I'll send you. Man, like I said, I don't know. I was fucking pissed off.
Hey, don't worry. We'll be drinking plenty of Goldies on the show.
I am sponsoring the show. This is the fucking deal.
The show is brought to you by Goldies.
Yes, forever. You're gonna fucking put a can of Goldies here, whatever you want. I will sponsor the show.
Hell yeah,
we'll do our deal right now. We'll do our deal right now. Whatever you want, I'll fucking make sure you do. And it's not like, and one of the things with the branding too that I like laugh about is that, like, I'm not, and we're doing a lifestyle photo shoot in a couple weeks, and it's funny because when you look at other companies that do this, it is very much like, oh my God, I've got this fucking can. Like, look at me with my friends. And it drives me fucking crazy because nobody ever does that.
No.
Nobody ever fucking does this.
Unless it's a Capri Sun, you don't got powers.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But like, for real, like, I don't know. So like with our branding and a lot of our shit, it's like more in the background. Like we're going to be taking our pictures. Like we'll be doing like some shots and shit where it's like, you're hanging with your friends and maybe it's down by your side and you're just holding it like you normally would. Like it's not supposed to be the fucking focus, and that's the point.
It's not a Gatorade at a sporting event.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's the point is that it blends in seamlessly and like nobody fucking cares. And that's like
your style of sobriety is kind
of exactly.
I like that. Wow. Yeah. So that's like full circle.
Yeah, that's how you fucking put a bow on it. Is like, listen, we're not.
What's your brand story? That's it right there.
That's it, man. You're like, look, listen, nobody fucking goes that crazy over fucking craft beer where they're like, oh, man.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yo, this is the coolest fucking drink ever.
Let's like 15, first time drinking.
Yeah, like, come on.
No,
and it's not, you're not meant to put 12 back in it. It's just like, yo, I promise you, if you're having after parties here and you have like 12 in your fridge, they'll be fucking gone next morning because people at that time of night, for example, like, nobody wants to fucking drink more beer.
That's
Bro,
another
I am telling you,
too.
if anybody's watching right now and are hosting after parties, it's a crime to your guests. Do you fucking hate your friends? Put some fucking Goldies in your fridge. I promise you they'll fucking do.
I bet you like nobody would know that it was like,
bro.
Someone's gonna be acting drunk, and then that's how we'll catch them.
You remember when people, like, I was telling about that girl, the story about the girl when she's like, and I'm like, oh yeah, I own the company. But that's another great one when I go to these after parties and like some of my buddies have them, of course, like they're supporting the homies, but they'll be like, oh man, this is so sick. What alcohol is in this? And when you fucking tell somebody, I go like, no, there's no alcohol, there's vitamins. And they go, that look on their face, the realization that like they've been having a couple of these and they don't even know it, and they're like getting a head start on tomorrow. They're like, wait a second, I've just been drinking a bunch of fucking vitamins for like the past half an hour. I'm like, yeah, you have.
Does it kind of taste like alcohol or no?
It kind of does. It kind of has an alcoholic profile.
That's kind of cool.
It does, and it's funny because the people that don't drink are like, well, why would I want something that tastes like gin? And I'm like, well, you know, like it's not really for you. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of is for people who like want that one step elevation. Yeah. You know, and like I'll say, I could tell you 100 stories of like everybody when you start a business, and you guys probably get it with the show too. Like, yeah, so you do this podcast, but have you ever thought about doing like live comedy?
That's Steve's favorite.
I love when people tell me what to do.
Yeah. They're going like I've had people be like, you know, are you set on the name Goldies?
Oh, suck my balls. First of all, it's a great name. Second of all, who are you?
Bro, I always laugh. We laugh with my buddies like, you know, Goldies, like, man, it's pretty good for like if you want to get a head start in the morning, but like, what if you're hungry? Like, you know, like how do you solve that problem? Like, have you ever thought about pivoting to almonds or anything like that? And it's like, I don't know, man. Like
one step at a time.
Yeah, you know, like maybe one day, but like, there's just the people that are like, everybody's got fucking something to say about it. I promise you. Yeah. Everybody's got something to say. So it's like, you kind of take it with a grain of salt. But I think like one of the things I've learned this is outside of Goldies, but just in business and in life is like, trust your gut. Yeah. Trust your fucking gut. Like if every fucking decision I've ever made for this company, by my gut has always worked. And every time I fucking listen to somebody that's fucking yipping about some bullshit, it never fucking works.
And then you get mad at yourself the next day.
That fucking sign story, perfect example.
Yeah, of like, it's all about you at the end.
If you know what you got to do and all it is an execution thing, then just do it. You know what I mean? Like fucking roll with it and trust your gut. Now, I'm not saying take wild risks, but I will say, like, you know, for me, taking $50,000 and putting it into a business, especially when you're a young guy, like that's fucking a lot of dough.
That's a shit ton.
Did you raise any of that, or it's just all yours?
That's me, man.
So did you set a budget? You were like, 50K,
bro, I'm the fucking worst.
Is it?
Or worst at budgets.
You keep dipping in and.
No, I will say I fucking slammed my bookie on the Rangers with the Rangers making the playoffs. So like that was
nice.
And like again, it was serious cash, so that fucking helped out big time. So like that there's a little bit of that, and there was a little bit of, you know, savings, and we just in the last month raised like probably like
80K.
Yeah,
sheesh, that's nice.
Yeah, we got some cool guys in. Like there's pro guys, there's some show guys in there, pro hockey players. There's some some of my boys back home. We've got like a lot of PE guys, hedgies, like 5'10". Average check size is maybe 5 or 10,000. Like it's not much, but it's more like you want your fucking homies in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want them fucking in and like.
Because you started this right by yourself.
Solo founder, and I have my sister helping out with a lot, and I've got my buddy who is in between jobs right now. I was like, bro, he's having a tough time. I'm like, bro, fucking sleep on my couch. We're going to do How to Make It in America. You fucking wake up and be my sales guy. He's absolute beauty, by the way. And it was like, it was funny because he was calling me. I was trying to get him a job down here, and he was like, when you're in between work, you kind of have that identity crisis of like, what do I want to do? Like, who am I? And like, you can go years at your job, and like, one of the things about New York City that I fucking hate is when you go to these parties and they go, who are you and what do you do? And it's like that fucking defines who you are, like your job title or your role. But it's anyways, that aside, when you go do those exercises, like what kind of job do you want to do? And he was listing things like, I want to be on my feet, I want to be talking with people, I want to have creativity. And I'm like, bro, I need somebody to run around town, help me with events, and fucking sell this shit in bodegas, because like I said, I can't do that right now because I gotta fucking have a full-time job. So dude, this is kind of a perfect role for you. Sleep on my fucking couch, I'll fucking toss a couple $100 a week, and like perfect. Like that works out fucking perfect. And he's killing it. Killing it, man.
You give him a little equity?
We gotta talk about that. Now it's a lot easier to give points away when you're solo.
Oh yeah,
very 100%. Easy to give points away when you're solo. So it's not. That's not something that I'm like super worried about. I'm not like, listen, I want all my fucking dogs eating. All my fucking dogs eating. I'm not like that guy that's like fucking. Everybody, the people that are worried about how to cut the pie. Everybody's that's worried about how to cut the pie are fucking dorks, and I'm the guy that's worried about making a big pie.
Bigger pie.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
That's what you really, really want to be focused on. I think at this point, like.
I mean, I think there's definitely a limit on the pie.
Listen, it's
like you don't want to be giving up points if that person doesn't need to be given points. You know what I mean?
It's funny because I agree, but as long as you have a fucking vesting schedule with that, like if they're fucking around, let them go, cut them loose.
If they're bringing value, then
if they're bringing value, like whatever, man. Like I don't know what the future is for it. I will tell you, some of the companies that are a little bit ahead of me. Like a couple financing rounds ahead of me have, some of the companies like Liars, for example, they did 57 million pounds at 575 post.
Damn.
That's serious coin. Yeah. Liquid Death, I think, was in that 500-600 million.
So post. Liquid Death's like your competition?
But no, they're not. They're not. They're just water. But I'm just trying to tell you in like that canned drink space.
Yeah.
There's some smaller companies too, but like I will say there's a fucking swagger and a grit when you do it yourself. Especially at the start of like, we have to be scrappy. Like I'll put this into perspective. At that show the other day, one of the guys that was bartending was working for that kind of Jaeger, non-alcoholic Jaeger style company. They're a company called Pathfinder. Really cool dude. They have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. They are on their way to raise millions of dollars, and they can't do what I do with a phone and make a couple fucking phone calls and throw fucking party on a Brooklyn
you're
rooftop.
just-
Because
You're
they
a
have too
hustler.
many people to ask and too much like red tape almost.
Well, I just think that there's a lot of social equity, social capital involved in throwing parties and getting people,
for sure.
getting people
yeah.
to do that kind of shit. It takes creativity.
We gotta throw a party. We're throwing a party.
I'll fucking throw
I
a
would
party.
fucking
We're
love
throwing
to
a
throw
party. We got a big network. Yeah.
We should throw a fucking party. You want to
do
throw a
it.
party?
The midsummer party,
I could throw. I got the spot. We should do it at the cannery.
dude. That place looks sick.
We should do it at the cannery. We'll do. They've got this unfinished roof. We can easily hold 200 people.
Easily.
We do a live podcast.
Yeah.
You should do a live podcast from a party.
Yeah.
That
That's
would
a
be
great
cool
idea.
as fuck.
Fucking do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. Why not?
As soon as this podcast is done, I'll make it happen.
Yeah. I'm down.
And like,
I'll
so that
definitely
kind
do
of shit is like one of the things of like doing cool shit is it's super beneficial to the brand because selling drinks is not about selling drinks. The people there's people that don't understand this. It is all about the brand.
Oh yeah.
The brand. Like people, when you go to the fucking grocery store and you say Goldies, oh, they fucking threw that party. That's fucking. I see that guy's socials like fucking.
I think it helps that you're like the social media account is Garrett from Goldies.
Bro,
That
this is
definitely
another
helps.
thing.
That if it was just Goldies, you wouldn't be here.
No,
You know
no,
what I
man.
mean?
Exactly. And like, this is power that, like, I will say these companies that raise fucking $50 million, they comment on my shit. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not the other way around. And it's like, that is power that they can't do because you have some social media intern that can't fucking, you put them in a little box and they can't, you can't fuck, you know,
Yeah.
like you can't
He
do
got
what I
good
do.
grades at school, so they hired him. But he
You
doesn't know
can't,
shit.
you can't do what I do. You like, you know what I mean? Like when I said you were asking about budget, and I would go, I'm the worst at budget because I am the worst at budget because I go fucking, hey man, we're gonna throw this fucking party. I need $7,000 for fucking audio equipment. I'm like, well, fuck, okay.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not
It
like
takes balls to do that.
yeah, but I think it takes, you got to have a vision for shit like that. Like I know when you guys are like, I want to do a live podcast at a party. Like we'll find what we got to do is find a couple cool guests that can rotate in for like, 10,
Yep.
give you 10
That
or
was
20.
my exact thought. Yeah.
Give you 10 or 20 and like cool people in the party space. And that's what
Yep.
you would want to do.
And then go back to the party.
And go
then
back to the
people
party.
at the party are like, I want to hang out with that guy.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly. That's exactly what you want to do. We'll get a little stage going on the roof and it's like you guys are partying and like we'll figure out a way to do it. Like right.
So sick.
Yeah. We would do something where it's like a sunset night. You get the golden hour. You got to promise me though. You got to get that fucking sign, man.
Oh, easily.
It's branding.
Yeah. I got a Steve Driscoll show sign.
I said, if you're going to do it, you got to put it behind your fucking head, man. I'm serious. It's all about the brand. It's not about, and like people think, like I said, you think we're selling drinks. I am not selling drinks. I sell a lifestyle. I sell fucking a feeling of making a good decision for yourself. I sell fucking making that workout class. I sell like being inclusive at partying, no matter where you fall on that spectrum of how fucked up you want to get. So like people don't understand that. And I understand that. And that's why we're going to win.
Yeah. You're not like the typical sober guy when people think, oh, he's a sober. You're not the hard ass. Like,
no.
I stumbled upon your TikTok and I'm like, oh, this is like, I don't want to call you a bro, but like, you know what I mean? You're like normal guy, cool guy, clearly very social, probably has a lot of friends, but he doesn't drink.
Yeah.
And that's what Goldies is to me.
Yeah, exactly. And like that is very important. And I wrote a blog about it. Not that I'm blogging a lot.
I wish you posted more on the blog.
Yeah, we read the blog.
Yeah, I want to post more. And I talked about how intertwined the DNA is with a company versus not, like the founder versus not. Like if you look at some of the big companies and you don't go, like I'm trying to think of some like George Clooney with the tequila, like they're the cool guy. It's in your DNA. Like the company really reflects the founder.
Oh yeah.
And
Casamigos, right?
Casamigos.
That's why people get Casamigos
because it's George Clooney.
No other
exactly.
reason why.
And it's like, I think you gotta, when you fucking compete in the business world or you compete in the podcast world, you compete in anything, like the pieces on the board, you can only play your position. And my position is a fucking very cool, successful dude with a lot of friends and a huge personality in New York City. And like, there are companies, how can you compete with that if you're a company that is like in Austin?
Yeah.
You can't do it. You can't do it because like, it's just not your position. You're out of position. And like I talk about position all the time, and it's like it comes from fucking playing chess and it comes from playing poker, of like playing position. And you can even say that, like if you look, you can even extend that to like football and shit. Like when you look at how Belichick operates, everything is about positioning and like what guys are on the field, personnel decisions.
Oh yeah,
the whole fucking game.
They put their small linebackers in. We're putting our fullback in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole fucking thing is about positioning. It doesn't. Everything else doesn't matter. It's all about positioning. And it's like, how do you leverage your position of like, okay, if you're going to have a fucking nickel on Gronk, like we're bodying you. Yeah. And like, that's the end of the discussion. And if you're going to double Gronk, then we know our guys open one guy single coverage over the top. So like that is the position that you've put yourself in, and how can we apply pressure on that? And it's like, or how can we use it to our advantage? And so when I wasn't even going to do the TikTok originally. When I started it, it was like, I wanted to do I'll pay some NYC it girls to do like, hey, here's me getting ready for a night, and like, here's Goldies. Well, first of all, that's the most expensive eyeball that you can get in the world right now. The it girl on TikTok.
Yeah.
Second, fucking 50% of these chicks followers aren't even from New York.
True.
And when you want to have a sales strategy, just to give you some insight into like how we were going to grow the business, is you have to be laser focused on lower Manhattan and Brooklyn, like lower Manhattan and Brooklyn. Like you need to show sales velocities at bodegas. You need to show strong retail sales. You need to show repeat online sales. And like the NYC girl that has people following them from like London and LA and shit, like that doesn't fucking provide value to me.
And they're just looking at her. Like they'll know the brand, but they're not going to buy it.
Exactly. So we tried that a couple times, especially with like the smaller TikTok girls on like the 500 to 5,000 thing. And like, bro, I'm fucking bigger than half of them that we reached out to. Oh, yeah. I've been doing this shit for 20 minutes. So like, fucking, I don't like.
Also, they're probably not sober. It's probably not authentic.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like nobody's gonna do it better than me. And like my sister has tried posting and shit like via me, like splicing clips together and shit. And it's like you don't get it. You don't get it like I get it. And it's like you. How cool is it that the CEO of the company is fucking not only talking that talk but walking that walk of like it's so accessible and so like I'm fucking loading this shit onto trucks and I'll film it. Like the whole thing, and it's the story too of like, yo, this guy's fucking grinding. That is cool to see.
No, you definitely. I feel like you are like the secret sauce to Goldies.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You keep the cans in your apartment?
Yeah, man.
How many are there?
I don't know, probably 2,000 stacked up on a wall.
Did it and you couldn't bring 3.
I told you I was seeing red all day today from that sign shit. So
it happens.
No, I'll bring you guys some. We're canning yuzu on. We're doing this yuzu prosecco flavor on Wednesday.
What is yuzu?
It's a Japanese citrus.
Oh, cool. It's classy.
Yeah, it's a little more, somebody's got to class this joint up a little bit, but it's more, like I said earlier, we're not going to do fucking cherry.
Yeah.
How do you go about like creating like the mixture and
that's a great question. So I initially I tried doing it at my apartment. Like you can find these cookbooks that do like cocktails and concoctions and shit, and I'd be like in the fucking kitchen stirring up apricots and fucking fucking honey in there, stirring it all up, and cayenne pepper, and let me tell you, it fucking tastes like shit. But then this is a fucking crazy story too. So then I'm online and looking there's something called Flavor Scientists, and I'm looking around at this guy, and I find this guy. And I email him. So like, that's one story right there. And then so separate, I subscribe to the New Yorker. And one of the things that I was trying to do by subscribing to the magazine is I said to myself, if I'm going to pay for a subscription, I'm going to read every article. Like when you're fucking taking a shit in the morning, like do not skip an article. Like just read it.
You read every article of the New Yorker?
Read every article. So and there was this one article as I was talking to this guy where I was stuck. It was some fucking bullshit talking about what the Democrats should do in the midterms, some bullshit. And I just couldn't get through it. It was fucking verbal diarrhea on a page. And so finally I'm talking to this guy and I go out to see him and he's making my drink and we're talking. I'm like, I don't know if this is the guy or not. Anyway, so I go back the next day and I say, fuck it. I'm going to break my rule. I'm flipping the page. I can't fucking read this. It sucks. And I swear to God, dudes, I flipped the page and this fucking guy's mug, they did a feature on him.
What?
Yes.
Holy fuck.
That's weird.
Yo, weird shit, right?
Yeah.
His fucking face, he had a feature on how Flavor Scientists in New Jersey, it's like the center of American innovation, food innovation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you went with him?
Had to.
Yeah. God was like, Garrett, go with this guy.
Bro, I could give you 50 fucking stories of how like it had to work out that way. Otherwise, this shit would not work.
Wow.
50. It would freak you out. I'm not like a huge spiritual guy or anything like that. And I'm a huge believer in hard work and this. But like, there is a lot of weird shit going on.
That's when you know it's about to happen.
There's a lot of weird shit going on. In like, I went to go pick up my when I went to go pick up the first cans, like I came in a truck and the truck was too small and I had to can that day because that was the day that I was slotted for, and I had to pay for labor and shit. And I was freaking out. Like, I was like, what am I going to do? This is crazy. I look up U-Haul, and where I'm picking up the cans, there's a U-Haul store. I'm in the U-Haul truck that's too small. There's a U-Haul store fucking right beside me. I walk over there. He's like, I don't have the truck you need. I even have a bigger truck, and I'm the only one that has this big truck, and the cans fit by 1 fucking inch in the big truck.
Wow.
Fucking God put a fucking truck there so that I could go pick it up for that 1 inch.
Wow.
It was fucking nuts, dude.
So things are working out.
Things are working out, and it's like there's
that
a lot.
show 12 dates of Christmas.
It's funny because it's like the reason why I think I'm going to be ultra successful in this space is because it's like, if you take everything that I'm really, really good at and passionate about, and you fucking put it in a pot and you sprinkle a little magic in there, like, this is it.
Put a little cucumber in there.
Little cucumber, little juniper. Yeah, exactly. And like that is going to translate well, because it's like, you know, you can't be like a fucking straight edge sober dude and crack into space, especially in New York. It's not going to happen.
That's true. And you don't seem to be afraid.
No, you got to lean into it, bro.
Yeah.
You got to embrace that tension of like, yo, you can still party and not booze.
I have to ask about the chess and playing guys in Washington Square Park.
Oh yeah, I fucking wrote
those
them.
are like hustlers.
Yeah.
Who, like, you pay $5 or whatever, and they kick your ass. But you hustled them back?
Well, okay, like, listen, like, if I see a fucking guy talking shit, I'll fucking throttle him. I have no issue with that. It doesn't, like, you know, these guys, they play like their main openings and shit. So I don't have an issue. Like, I'm a pretty good chess player. I'm a good chess player relative to like people.
You know how to play chess.
People who know how to play chess. Yeah. I'm like maybe more on the bottom of people who know how to play. But yeah, I'm a huge chess fan. I play a lot. I watch a lot of chess.
Damn,
I fucking dig chess a lot.
I've never really played.
We got to get Magnus Carlsen on the Goldies.
Oh my God. I would, when you go on planes, sometimes Magnus Carlsen has these little apps where you can like play him at different fucking ages, like play Magnus when he was 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So just an FYI, Magnus, when you were 7 years old, I fuck you up. Fucking come get now 8-year-old Magnus. I'm fucking, yay, man. Great for you. But a 7-year-old puberty. Yeah. I'll fuck you up.
Wow. See, I saw you look in the camera then. See, that was a natural
you
camera
want
look.
some? Come and get some. Young Magnus, you little shit.
Hell yeah.
Teenage Magnus, though. No, you stay at home.
He's on another level.
Where's Magnus from? Is he American?
No, he's from Norway, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This guy can play like 20 people at the same time blindfolded.
Yeah.
And he'll just memorize all the boards and win every single game.
Yeah,
that's a genius.
Genius, yes.
But when he was 7, he's a little dumbass.
Yeah, no, he was a little shit, and it wasn't good enough to beat me on a Delta Airlines flight from LA. I fucked him up, but like, I don't know. I enjoy chess. I think it's one of the things that is like, you know, I don't know. It's funny because I don't give a. There would be a time when I was like younger where I'd be like, yeah, I kind of like, I wouldn't tell people like, but I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I like
chess is like cool now with that show.
It's cool now.
Netflix
Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
I was president of the chess club at Loyola.
Were you really?
Yeah, I created it.
Wow, I remember this.
Bro, we got to play.
That. Just because I wanted like chess boards and we didn't have them.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
I was, like, set it up.
Wow.
I was going to say, what's your rating?
Not good.
Okay.
What's your rating?
Probably about 1,500, 1,600, which is...
what, the world?
No, oh my God, no. It's called an ELO rating. So basically, ELO rating is a way to like, if you have, it's a way to.
It's like a handicap in golf.
It's a handicap, yeah. Like if I'm hot, if I'm 1,600 and you're 1,500, I should probably beat you like 9 times out of 10, kind of thing. So, but if you beat me, then I'm gonna drop down to like 1,575. You're gonna go up to 1,550, kind of. And it's just a constant way of adjusting. For
do you track that like? Or just online?
Just online.
Yeah.
Just online.
But you play a lot of online chess?
Play a lot of online chess. I'll play some guys like in the park. Those guys are around 1,500, 1,600. Some guys are a little worse. Some guys are, creeping up there in the low 2,000s, which is like excellent.
Wow.
There gets to the point where chess, like in these rating systems where it's like, if you are 1,200 and I'm 1,600, you won't beat me.
Do you ever meet people who say they're a higher rating than you play, and you're like, you're trash, you're full of
No,
shit.
you never want to play that. Boys, it's all about positioning. You walk up there and you pretend you're a bro and you go, hey, how does this piece move? I'll check it. That's how you do it.
So it seems like you love sports a lot.
Love sports.
So I have a hypothetical for you because hypotheticals are one of our best things.
Yes, I was going to say, okay, I'm ready for this. So it's like if Donkey Kong played Mario in a game of 2-on-2 with Peach and Bowser, who would fucking win?
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, exactly. Who's fucking D'ing up Donkey Kong in the paint? I think Bowser could, though.
No, Bowser's like Lizard Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
they're like
exactly.
they're equals, kind of.
An unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
Yeah. I would definitely take Bowser.
It would
He
all
got the
come down to
spikes.
Mario versus Peach's range.
And Mario could never
No,
beat Peach.
no,
He
because
loves
she's
it.
taller.
Peach is too
She's
good.
taller. I think she'd post him up too. She'd fucking work Mario down. Okay, let's hear a sports
All right,
question.
This is way more simple than that. I'll tell you
Okay.
that. All right, you get $1 million.
Yep.
But you can never watch sports ever again.
No, I don't take it.
You don't take it?
No, I don't.
You don't take it? With $1 million right in front of you.
No,
You could build Goldies to the moon.
no. I think I mean, not to be cocky, but I could make more than $1 million.
Like never
to
watch. You can't go to a game. You can't watch it on TV.
Nope.
Bro, I
Super Bowl.
You could watch your kids' sports. You could just never
no.
watch.
I'm telling. I know.
What if my kids
I don't
make
know.
it to like MLB?
You can't watch their games. That's the price you got to pay.
So professional sports, $1 million. I think I would
And
fucking
college
take
sports.
it.
I think I would take it too.
I don't think I would. Listen, I really love sports.
You really love sports. So do I. I mean, like diehard Celtics fan. It would suck to not be able to watch Game 3 tomorrow.
Yeah. Like I go to a lot of the Rangers games. I go to a lot of
What's your number? What about $10 million?
Yeah, that's probably around there.
I think you have to do that.
Yeah, 10 million, you walk away because that's feet up on a beach kind of thing for the rest of your life.
There's more to life than
$1 million doesn't go that far these days.
no.
I mean, you could go, you could leave the United States and go like live in Thailand or something like that, live like king, but then you fucking live in Thailand.
Yeah.
It's fucking dump over there. Like, why would you want to do that?
We lived there for 6 months.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we both did.
Is it nice?
I mean, there's super sick parts.
But there's like a lot of poverty over
but
there.
I don't want to
Oh.
live. Oh, of course. It's a third world country.
Yeah.
Average income is like $8,000 or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, it's definitely we lived in like a pretty like not nice area.
Yeah.
Not dangerous, but like no, I want to live in America. I want to
live in America. Yeah, me too. I love
$1 million
America. I
definitely
love
doesn't bring it.
America. I will just say, like, this is the greatest country in the world. It's like I said, it's an honor to be here. You know what I mean? Like I as somebody who's an immigrant is like, if you have a fucking dark blue passport with a gold fucking eagle on it, you are very lucky to be born.
You think even more than Canada? Like I know in Canada. I mean,
Yeah.
as an American, I rate us above Canada, but like I feel like Canada's closest thing. No.
No, the thing about Canada is they're a little bit stuck up about like the healthcare thing of like they'll shove it in your face of like, oh yeah, we get free healthcare. Like, listen, Canada in terms of economic opportunity is not even near the States. It's a primarily like natural resource based economy. Like there's some telcos and like you get some bigger startups like Shopify in the tech space, but like it's a very like house based real estate based economy of like these fucking house horny beavers, man. They just keep selling each other houses for higher and higher. Like it's just, I don't know. I just like look at my friends and shit that are back there that it's like the salaries are lower, the cost of living is higher, and like, yeah, you can toss around free healthcare and that's dope and everything, but like I think when all the dust settles, I think if you're like an entrepreneur or like business minded person, you gotta I mean the state, it's no contest.
Yeah, I guess that makes if you're especially with a product.
It's
yeah, I mean
no
definitely.
no fucking contest, man. Like and like I don't know. I just know like when I moved down here, like the quality of life and shit, like it's better down here. Yeah, I think so. And like I think Canadians don't want to admit that. I don't know. Does it feel like I'm going to the dark side? But I just think like objectively, it's better here.
Yeah.
Objectively, like it's
What made you give up on being a Toronto Maple Leafs fan to be a Rangers fan? Because Maple Leafs, that's a big deal in Toronto.
Bro. Don't fucking get me going.
That's like the Yankees up there, no?
And like a die-hard Rangers fan, too.
Yeah. You're like the craziest Ranger fan on the screen.
Yeah.
All right, who is like the hardest slap shot in the NHL? Who's someone with a really hard slap shot?
Oh man. Back in the day, it was always like Chara.
Zdeno Chara?
Yeah, he's a fucking tall fucker.
It's like 7 feet tall, right? 7'4".
6'9" or something. Yeah.
So
On skates, it was probably one of those like on
Yeah.
skates. It's fucking ridiculous.
for $5 million, you get $5 million,
Yeah.
but every year Zdeno Chara in his prime is taking a slap shot at your head.
No, you would die. You would die. Now that's funny because you ever see those old videos of the guys that are like play goalie with like no mask?
Oh yeah, dude.
Like, bro,
fuck that.
Bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
this was in like 1942. Like, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. You would have
Fucking-
known not to do that. Anyone would have known. Cavemen would have been like, we got to protect our heads.
We've got to put something in front of
Yeah.
us.
I'm saying, hockey, man. They're
No,
so
So
you
you're,
don't want-
you're
I-
hard no. If
I
he's
wouldn't-
not gonna like hit you, he could miss.
He's aiming.
No. Oh, okay.
He's aiming.
I would say if he was aiming below the knees, you could get away with it. But if you're going anywhere above the, if you took a snapshot, because like you're going every year, right? So like if you took a slap shot to the gonads, like you would fucking ruin your life.
He takes one shot at you a year.
Can you turn your back? Can you turn your back? Like, can you take it? Like, can you kind of?
If you could react in time, you don't know when he's coming.
No, you can't do it. You could die. Death.
You could be
no, I'm not.
Yeah, you could be sleeping.
Ever see that fucking meme where Big Bird's standing at the door, he kicks it over, and he's standing there like this? And he's like,
That's
Zdeno
Jimmy
Chara
Chara
with a fucking.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't fuck with that.
I wouldn't do it either.
I wouldn't do it.
There might not be any dollar because I'd be like, my year, every day I'd be like looking over my shoulder.
How
like,
fast does he shoot?
Over 100.
Over
right?
100 miles an hour. Yeah. Probably like 115. And those pucks are frozen too, right? Oh, are the Rangers playing right now?
Yeah, so I threw this on for you, man.
Holy shit. There's Kreider. Yeah, there you go. 50 goals there. 55 goals there.
5 goals there. Tavares couldn't do that.
Tavares cannot do that, and they can't move his contract. So just go back to that Leafs thing is like, I couldn't support a team where every fucking year these guys every fucking year would be like, yo, we're sick of feeling like this. Like, we're so close. Next year's our year. And I'm just like, I don't know. I was saying it like when the Rangers won Game 7, the Leafs lost Rangers Game 7, the Leafs won. And I made this post being like Leafs fans, it was me. I took my buddy to the game. Game 7 was sick. We scored in overtime, like right in front of us. It was literally the best atmosphere I've ever seen in sports ever. And I made this post being like, you know, it's really sad that like Maple Leafs fans will never feel this. It's crazy. You'll never feel this. And all these people were responding to me like, yo, don't kick us when we're down kind of thing. Don't kick us when we're down. And I go, kick you when you're down. Like, if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, all you know is down.
Yeah.
You've never been up. How can you
20 years since they won the playoff
20
series.
Like, bro, you don't not like every fucking time you get to rock bottom, the next year there's a fucking rockier bottom. Like, don't fucking give me this bullshit of like, oh, kick me when you're down. Like, you know you're gonna lose. And like it's been funny of like going to the Rangers fans. So the Leafs lost again, and last year, and me and my buddy went home, and I think Boston was playing Carolina, and Marchand, I call him Marchand, but you fucking make everybody call him Marchand, gets off the bench, fucking lays this dude out. Pasternak, they go on the power play. Pasternak passes him. He rips this one-timer top shelf to tie the game. The TD Garden goes crazy. And I'm like, I just look at my buddy, we're Leafs fans, we're like, there's no fucking guy on the Leafs that would ever do that.
Yeah.
There's no fucking guy on the Leafs that could ever do that. And like, that's when we had the realization. I signed up for Rangers tickets right there. I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Wow.
I don't give a fuck. I'm going to put my name in the hat. And anyways.
Is that because you were in New York? Like,
yeah, I lived in New York.
Liked a different team?
No, I had an ex-girlfriend whose dad had seasons. And so I would go to quite a few of the games. And that's kind of where I got the idea. And like, they're not affordable. We did a half a season.
So how many games is that? 40?
It's 20. Yeah, it's 23 or 24 games, including preseason. That's a lot of games. Let me tell you, I will say we're not renewing because I will just say like, it's a shitload of games.
Yeah. Did you go to all of them?
I probably went to, out of 26, I probably went to 20.
Damn.
There, and remember, like with hockey, that you're home and away. Like there's times when you're going to like 3 or 4 games in 12 days. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like they're at home stand, and then you don't go to a game for 2 weeks, and then you go to like 3 games in 2 weeks. And it's like man, there would be fucking nights where like if we're kind of down by 2 or 3 goals, and it wasn't very often because we were very good, but we'd just be like middle of the second, like, man, you want to get out of here? Like I gotta fucking go to sleep. Like I can't be fucking. Yeah,
it becomes a little less special when you get to go 20 times.
And that's what, and I don't want to lose that. I don't think you should lose anything in life of like. This has been like a really special podcast for me.
You came on and did 20 this year.
If you did 20,
like,
yeah.
Like, oh, what are we talking about?
What are we talking about? And like, it was fun for me to sit down and listen to the show and look at you guys. And like, I felt like I knew you before I was even walking in.
Ah, it's great. I love that.
And like, the conversation has been insane and flowing and telling funny stories. And there's some serious talk and laughing talk. And it's like, this is special. And versus like, you know, if you were to just do this, like, I don't know, if you were like an actor or something where you release a movie and you got to talk about it fucking every day, it just wouldn't, it would lose its...
Especially by the 3rd movie, so you've done it already twice, and like, it's like, Jesus.
Fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah.
How long's the hockey season?
They start in late October, I think.
It's like basketball, I feel.
Yeah, it is, same.
Kind of lines up.
I think basketball is maybe a week or 2 ahead. That's it. But... Yeah, I mean the hockey games tend to go. I think the issue with basketball is the first round in basketball tends to be over a little quicker. At least historically, this year has been a little bit different. But historically, you get a lot of games finishing in 5, 6, 7 game series in the first round is
the disparity of teams. Is usually
it's more polarized. Of like the
hockey. Meanwhile, it's like an 8 seed can make the fucking Stanley Cup.
The Kings won the fucking cup as an 8 seed. Like
did the Knights too?
The Golden Knights, no, I think they were fucking good.
They were good
that
year?
first year.
It was just like a while that they weren't expected to be good or something.
They were an expansion team that year, but there was weird rules around. Seattle got fucked because there was weird rules around protected players, and they were doing side deals of like, you don't pick this guy. We're not going to protect him, but don't pick him, and we'll give you this guy. And it was like, I don't know. They got rid of that. I was like, but it's all bullshit.
All right, you guys want to wrap it up?
How are we doing? Time?
It's 8:15.
Okay, hell yeah.
Let me. I'm just gonna. I like to play a song at the end, and then you're gonna give a little bit of a. I'm gonna ask you a question. You're gonna talk a little bit.
Yep.
All right, man. So you kind of dipped into it before, but like, here's your message to anyone out there who's not an alcoholic, not an addict, but is playing with the idea of being sober. None of their friends are. What would you tell them?
I would say, and this is somebody I'm talking to my younger self at this point, and it's like, if you kind of know in the pit of your stomach that you are like, hey, maybe I'm boozing a little too much, or maybe I'm leaving some shit on the table, don't wait for that kick in your ass. That kick in your ass could be me talking right now. That kick in your, like, do it because you want to do it. Don't wait for something else like a dry January or a sober October.
Or to go to prison.
Or to go to prison.
Yeah,
or, you know
for
what
real.
I mean? No, for real, like to fuck your life. Like, I mean, like, that's kind of like the dark shit. But there's like, life can be pretty fucking crazy good too. And like, you can get up in the morning and fucking go to the farmer's market and go get that workout done and go to brunch, or like, you know what I mean? Like, sit out there with that coffee, and not to get all fucking cornball with it, but like, there's shit to be had on the table, and it's not staying out super late all the time. Do it a little bit. And it's like, life's about moderation, and find that fucking slot for you.
Do you feel you've been enjoying your life more since you
started?
Bro,
100%. 100%. And without getting preachy, unquestionable.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Garrett from Goldies. This podcast is brought to you by Goldies.
This podcast and all the rest.
We're going to have the cans
Did the Rangers
next
just
time.
snipe? Oh. Bro. Oh.
If only.
Oh, that would have been a sick ending. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, guys. Like, honestly, my first podcast experience. I hope I wasn't rambling too much.
No, it's great.
No, I feel you told a good story.
Yeah, it's all about story, man. Life's about stories.
Tell them when's the new flavor dropping. Do you have a date
Wednesday.
yet?
Yeah,
Wow.
Wednesday. I should probably put it up on the website. Like, you could probably pre-order it now.
Yeah, this podcast might be out after Wednesday. Probably will be.
So it's available now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But no,
it's
for real,
available
I
now.
will
It's available now.
sponsor. I will sponsor this podcast.
We love
As
that.
soon as this is off, let's talk money.
I've been wanting to get a beverage sponsor literally from the beginning, because it's always we have a drink.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you have it.
Money, baby.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Let's do it right now.
Hell yeah.
I'm not kidding though. Like, seriously, what do you want?